Good evening, everyone. It's just Damien Littlefair here again. Tonight I'm going to be talking about maths and English assessments and where I'm at regarding employment. You may remember about a couple of months ago, I believe, I made an appointment about me going for my maths and English assessment. This is just a follow-up video from that, really. Basically, I spoke to Diane Simmons from Step Forward Tees Valley, and she said the woman she wanted me to see wasn't there at the time when I did my last maths and English assessment. She said the lady that did the maths and English assessment with me doesn't usually do it. She's not the main tutor, and she gave me the wrong information, saying they can't work with me. Saying they can't work with me when they can. She said, of course they can work with you, Diane. She said, they can help you build up your skills to get the certificate you need. Right? So, I tried explaining that colleges, and where I've been to before, because I'm coming out at entry 3, and my certificate, what I've already got, is a level 1, nowhere will work with me. And she said this place can. I was just given the wrong information. So I go back on Monday. It's called Morrison's Trust, and it's based up at Morrison's and Martin Park. So I don't like parking in that car park. So my nana Sheila lives nearby. So what I do is, I just drove to my nana's in the morning, left the car in her drive, and then got the number 12 up to Morrison's and Martin Park. It was £1.70 for the bus, but the Morrison's Trust reimburse your travel. Started at 9:30, got out about, say, 20 to 11. 10:30, 20 to 11 I got out. My results were slightly higher than last time. They weren't that much, and basically what happened basically, like, I came out at entry 3 last time, 50%, but I came out at entry 3 this time 75%, so 15% increase. But it's not that much, really. But I still come out lower than what she said. She said to me, this Barbara woman said, like, I went in, she couldn't remember me being in. I was supposed to go about 3 weeks ago, to be honest, but I've had this virus that was going about, and I didn't want to give it to anyone, and I thought, if I've had this virus going about, I'd be less alert and I'd be able to answer the questions incorrectly. I'd have a much better chance of answering the questions when I'm better in my own health. So, which worked out. I got a slightly better result than last time, but she said, I explained that what had happened last time. I said, Diane Simmons had asked me to come in again, asked me to come and do the assessment again, and that I was given the wrong advice last time. I can't remember my exact words, but I said something like, I think Diane Simmons even spoke to Barbara on the phone about me booking it in, and I don't know why she's got confused. This woman and between Diane Simmons, when Diane Simmons rang back up to make this appointment. So basically, I said, Diane Simmons asked me to come in and do my assessment again, and I said because my assessment results were low last time, Diane said, you can work with me even if I get a low level. I said, because I came out at entry 3 and need the level 2 certificate, Diane said you can still work with me to refresh me to get me through with the certificate I need. I can't remember my exact words as I say, but it was something around them lines. So, do the assessment. They need to give me a new password and reset my account, just with what had happened and that. Just with it being a while and that, they just needed to reset everything. So, I went in, did the assessment again. And she took me out to a room, to the room opposite me, and I think we stood in there. Yeah, I think we stood in there and had a quiet chat so everyone didn't hear, and I think everyone else was doing their work and doing exams. Or revision, I don't know, but we had a chat, and she said that she doesn't know why Diane had sent me back. She doesn't know why Diane had sent me back. But, and it was a waste. She said she doesn't know why Diane had sent you back, and it was a wasted journey. It was just a waste of time coming in because we can't support you. She said we're also very busy, which the seating layout was different anyway. So yeah. She said we are very busy, and she said through doing the way we work with you and that is doing with your assessments online. You just come and do your assessments online and revise this way and then that way. But she said the way you're better learning would be at a college and basically working more one-to-one or something. But the reason I can't do the assessment, the reason why I can't go in that again was the exact same reason basically as what I was given last time. So I just felt like it's a waste of time. I'm going around in this circle, believe it or not, where I want to go in, refresh my maths and English, but they can't work with me because I've already got the certificates. Like Coleridge Centre, Darlington, they work with maths and English. Went in there once, did the assessment, and exact same results after I came in and did the assessment. So exact same results, and I just feel like it's a waste of time going to these places. To be honest, I'm just going round in a big circle, and I'm just same circle, same circumstance. And no way it'll work with me because my level's coming out lower than what my certificate is. So I need to jump up a couple of levels in order to get the level 2. So basically, yeah, it's a bit like that at the moment. But also, I haven't emailed Step 4. I have emailed Drive Group, Vauxhall and Sherwood's again in Darlington to try to get some voluntary work with them, as I do feel like if I had some voluntary work with Sherwood's, and or work experience, a couple of days, a couple of hours a week maybe, it'd give me the skills and give me the relevant experience that I need for a working environment, rather than having to go through places trying to get an assessment and the test what I'm never going to get. So I'd rather go through voluntary work or work placements to build up my skills and experience that way, so I can show a potential employer what I'm capable of and what I can do. So there's that. Yep, so I am busy still emailing companies and that when I once, I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous video, but what used to be, I'm into the media and like the technical side of the media, to be honest, and like the behind the scenes stuff. So like how things work and that. I did want to apply for music technology once because I wanted to be a sound engineer, but a lot of people were applying for that course. A lot of people were applying for the course, the music technology course, basically thinking it was a DJing course, and the course got cancelled. And basically moved to a different college out of town. But through doing that, when I was at college, when you used to be able to get EMA, employment and support allowance, but because the household income in this house was more than the threshold, I wasn't eligible for it. So the music technology course got cancelled, and then I moved on to a place called NACRO, and basically it's entry to E2E, entry to employment, and that with doing an E2E course you could get the EMA, and I saved up a bit of money, and when I left, I saved up a bit of money, and when I left NACRO, I can't remember if I'd left. I can't remember if I left fully or if I was in the process of leaving. I know it was around that time. I decided to use some of the money that I'd saved to put towards driving lessons and get my driving licence. So it took a while for my licence to come through, just because with all these medical checks and that, and I'm glad I put that money. I'm glad I put that money to some better use. Basically, the entry to employment course got the music technology course got cancelled, and I got put on the C2E course, and I managed to save up some money for my car and driving licence. Not the car I've got now, my previous one, or the one I was sharing with my mum, which was technically her car and she drove it as well. So basically, yeah, and also through going to NACRO, that started me off where I've met some really nice people who I'm friends with. Mike and Colin at See the Boxing Down, and they work with people with up to 25, and that's with autism and Asperger's syndrome, and they're really good at supporting me and just being there for me basically. But when I started with them, it was more like the youth service. No, the youth service got changed, so basically there's that. So I am looking in, basically I am still looking into things. I still got the social care assessment to look into. There's been a bit of a misunderstanding with the new application, and some of my family getting a bit upset with this social care assessment, but my social worker emailing me today because I got a bit upset and said I don't want to do the social care assessment anymore. But I emailed Jane yesterday at Dartness Social and on Disability, said if she rings my mum said it's okay for her to ring her, and if she rings my mum this week, I'd try. The sooner she can speak to my mum, the sooner we can progress forward. And my social worker messaging me today saying, do I still want to do the social care assessment? And I just said, I've had a word with Jane and copied in the message what I've sent to Jane. I also messaged her after that saying, just because I didn't get a reply, I also sent a message after that saying the sooner Jane can phone my mum, the sooner things can progress on. So there's that. So there's that, and also I've got some news about my car. Basically, I spoke to the bloke the MOT's it last week just to explain what had happened, and he said we were busy last week and to take it in. I'm wondering he'll check underneath, see if there's any underneath damage that shouldn't be there, just to see if there's any hidden damage, so to speak. So I've spoke to him, he's checked underneath and it was fine. I did get told off about my tyres though. They were dangerously inflated, I think. He said the front's only had 10 psi and there should be about 28 to 30. So he pumped my tyres up and that. He didn't charge me or anything, but I've got the car booked in for Friday to get repaired, and it's going to take, I'll get it back on the night, and that's going to be about £80. So there's that. Also, if anyone noticed, I did get upset over the weekend on a previous video. I can't remember what day it was. I think possibly Thursday night, where I put about putting stuff on Facebook and people saying I'm not listening and that. And basically, what had happened was, I put it on Facebook, like I've seen other people do, saying that, has anyone seen this incident? Can witnesses come forward? And I got a few messages back basically saying, why didn't you drive after him? If someone had hit me, I would have drove after him. And with some of them comments, I put back and said, I've got Asperger's syndrome, which affects my social interaction skills, communication skills, and I'm not good at face-to-face confrontation. If you ask anyone that knows me, where there's been incidences in that before, I've stopped going to places in that because I don't like or I can't cope with face-to-face confrontation. So I put that online and basically said that like when we have an Asperger's syndrome and that, I got a few replies back saying plain on disability, and got a few messages to say what's this crash got to do with, what's Asperger's syndrome got to do with this. It was a crash. Basically, what I was trying to do and get out there was, people need to know about the consequences of their actions, basically. Not just the financial side, but also the implications it's caused for another person. Like, it was someone had hit my car. Yes, it is a car, and cars can be replaced or repaired, and that. However, for me, I was shaken up by it. And it was playing on my mind for a few days, and I was upset by it. I know the car's gone into the body shop this week, but that'll also affect my independence, because the car's one of the forms of independence I have, and I also take extreme pride in my driving, and it does upset me, because for me it was an achievement for me. Doctors, instructors thought I'd never be able to pass my test, but I learnt to drive in about a year and 4 hours a week worth of lessons. Passed on my second attempt, passed the theory on the first. I've also done the Pass Plus, which no other person that I know of, like brother, cousin, and anyone else that's learnt to drive since the Pass Plus was first out, and that I don't know any other people that have done the Pass Plus. And yeah, I was through me, I'm more about spreading awareness through the social media and spreading awareness in general of specific topics. Basically, I had a few people saying, just accept it, it's part of the parcel of driving. And another thing, what annoyed me there was, why should you go out and expect to be hit by someone in the car and drive off? If you go out thinking like this, people are going to do it more and be more careless driving, because they can think they can get away with it. And also, it's putting insurance premiums up for the people that are the victims behind this, and the person that hit you drives off and gets away with it. And another thing, a lot of people were saying it's just a small bump. It's just a small bump. A lot of people said. I've seen in shops some security chase someone for stealing a packet of crisps or a bar of chocolate. So, in some shops, packet of crisps, bar of chocolate, 50p or less. Less than £1 anyway. It might be more than 50p now, but with this sugar tax or whatever. But less than £1, should I say. It's a small item. It's a small item, not worth very much. It's still classed as They still see it in the shop as a theft, and they still send security after them. What I'm trying to say there is that I was hit by someone that drove off. It's still a crash. I know it's only a small bump, but it's still a crash where someone drove off. And basically, why should someone like me lose no claims and have to pay for damage that was caused by someone else, and they'd just get away with it? And they just get away with it with no complications, just like that. But it's only going to cost about £80 anyway, so I did email a couple of places that come to your house, said we're cheaper than most garages, but I'd a garage. I was on the phone at the time. I can't remember who was on the phone to. If it was the police or not, but I had the garage. That might have been. I know what it was. I think I had a phone call through this place. Said we've got a Christmas promotion on. If you get it done before the 24th, 25th of December, I can't remember what date, it'll only be £219.50 or £19.90, I can't remember. But the bloke doing it is only charging me £80, so I think that's expensive compared to that. So I know that's getting done. He is a decent bloke. I've taken my car before to him. I know someone that knows him and said he's really good. So £80. I can't complain at that, but it is paying out for something what wasn't my fault. Also, a couple of other things what annoyed me was, got messages online saying don't go through the insurance, it's not worth it, it'll put your premiums and that up. I know because my mum's vehicle, we had an incident on the road once in my mum's vehicle. We swerved out the way to avoid an incident. We were told by the police we need to tell the insurance just to advise them, even though there was no damage or anything. They said we still have to advise them, so we let the insurance know in August. The car insurance was due for renewal in February. Mum rang the car insurance up to sort out the insurance, because this company didn't used to send out proof of no claims or anything. Took our no claims offers. They took our no claims offers for reporting an incident. when no damage or anything was occurred. But the bloke said to my mum on the phone, well, what if the other party want to make an insurance claim? Well, if you've been involved in a car crash and your vehicle was damaged or something and you needed to go through the insurance, why on earth would you wait 6 months to have it repaired? Why would you wait 6 months to have it repaired? It's just a bit annoying that any normal person would more or less get it done straight away. I wouldn't wait 6 months because you'd be without a car, and a lot of people need the cars for the job, and especially a bus. Especially a bus, with the incident being with the bus, they want to get the bus seen straight away, not 6 months. So basically, and another thing what annoys, so people were saying I'm not less like I was putting things online that and said, for me it's making people aware through the social media of the consequences of their actions. And for me, it's about fighting the cause through social media. And like as I say, I was getting replies back saying, don't go through insurance and that. Also, people were saying, like, because of these comments and that I had said, don't go through insurance, it's not worth it and that. As I said, I'm not going for the insurance anyway, but people were saying, I'm not listening to them. You're not listening to us, but I am listening. I am listening to you. For me, through me, I fight my battles by going through social media and making people aware through the social media circle. And if more people did this, and more people had the guts to do this, more people would become aware of the incidences, more people would become aware of how their impact affects others. Like, for me, I used to get bullied a lot at school, and I just think, in the back of my mind, if schools and that had more, if awareness and that was brought into schools sooner, like from primary school age or anything, about bullying and that, I'd be bullied less. Yeah, so for me it's about making awareness, fighting causes, and standing up for what I believe in, so yeah. I've had witnesses come forward and I've forwarded everything onto the police, but I don't know what's going to happen there. Basically, also, I have heard Kylie Minogue is doing outdoor tours next year in the UK. I do like Kylie. I've been to all the tours, I think, since she's had cancer, since she's came back from having cancer, and to be honest, I never thought Kylie would be someone to do outdoor arena concerts. the nearest one to us is Scarborough. I'm looking into things and that, but it's getting someone to go with me. Basically, and getting back. And with it, the dates on in Scarborough is the summer holidays, so it's going to be hard getting a hotel. And the price is going to be expensive, I believe. So I'm going to have a look into things. I didn't even know Scarborough had an outdoor concert arena. Basically, I would like to see Bon Jovi as well. My mum and dad used to go to see Bon Jovi when I was a child, and they didn't take me with them because I was scared of loud noises, and I didn't like confined spaces, like lots of people busy and that. I'm not 100%. I'm still having problems with those things, but it's much better than it is now. Back then, definite no. But now there's more support. But now there's more support with in the government and that to help people like us and that, and through the NHS and that, like support workers, blue badges. Like they've changed the criteria for the blue badge. And to social needs and that, and hidden disabilities. As I've said in the previous video, I'm getting one. I've got one in order. So I'm possibly one of the first in Darlington to get a blue badge under the new criteria, but I had to put some fighting in to do it in that, and I was through the second stage appeal with the blue badge, and they had to delay that as long as possible so they could, because they knew under the new criteria I'd be able to get one, and they knew if I went for the stage 2 criteria before the new criteria was announced that I wouldn't be able to apply again, and I'd be back to where I was before. So there's that sorted. As I was saying about Bon Jovi, yeah, I would like to go and see Bon Jovi again next year. I've been to see him once before. One of the, like through a child and that, and growing up, they were one of my favourite artists, and they're possibly the first artist I wanted to see live. But as I said, I went to Sunderland Stadium of Light and with my mum and dad and my aunt to watch them, and I would like to go again next year, but I think they're on doing Wembley, Coventry and Liverpool, and there's nothing up here yet, so there's that to look forward to possibly, but I don't know yet. Also, I would like to see Westlife. Touring again. Said they'd never get back together. They're back together. Sold out in minutes, and the only place to get it from is after sales ticket places, through tickets out, and because it's a sellout, prices straight in the roof. So there's that. Yeah, I'm just itching. I'm just basically itching to get back on my feet. As I said, I've been in a couple of videos and that. I've had a virus going about, and I'm still a bit got the very last bits of a bad chest, but I've got the very last bits of a bad chest, but it's going. It's starting to go. And I do feel like I want to get out there and mix with people and try some new opportunities. Basically, I'm just sick of being at home all the time and doing nothing. I do go to my nana's on a Monday for my dinner, and I go to Gateway Club Mondays and Thursday evenings, but problem with Gateway Club is I'm possibly one of the ones there that have the least needs of all, possibly, and the people that go there, their needs are higher than mine, and because they're in care homes and because of their circumstances, it's not right socialising and becoming friends with everything like out of the place. But through Gateway and that, I am getting into some, because I've been helping out, I'm on the committee and I help out, like voluntary work, so, which is going to look very good on my CV, I must admit. Patting about with pen, it's got on my hand. What was I saying? Gateway Club, it's going to look very good on my CV, but I am getting some more responsibilities through that and getting trained in different areas, so to speak. Not really trained, but asked to help out in different areas, so to speak, which something I'm enjoying, yes. And things. Also, I used to do Step Forward Tees Valley on a Friday, which was just an hour appointment through the North East Autism Society. They used to come to town. This through they used to come to town and work through the Step Forward Tees Valley unit, and basically that's been stopped. Well, not really stopped. What had happened was it started off as an 8-week program, and then an 8-week trial program, and then it got extended by 6 weeks, and then it got extended by, as I say, by 6 weeks, and then it's been stopped so that things can get evaluated and possibly start up again properly on a permanent basis. I did enjoy doing it, and that it's just, I'm just out there ready. Still desperate to find a girlfriend, or a transgendered girlfriend, which I do like transgender people. But in order to start dating, in order to get a girlfriend, I need to get out the house more and mix with people. That's the biggest problem. That's my biggest problem. I need to get out, mixing with people. Regardless of Facebook, Plenty of Fish. Well, in fact, on Plenty of Fish, I've been on dating sites since 16 or 17, when technically some dating sites you're only supposed to be 18 when you join, but I do think when I was that age, I was a bit naive and put a fake date of birth, I think, but I'm not sure. But regarding Plenty of Fish and that, I don't get any replies back. I get more replies back from women on the transgendered dating sites, and if there's anyone that is transgendered on Plenty of Fish, I get some replies back from them. Also, I found a way to get women to message me on Plenty of Fish. If you email women seeking women, I get replies back saying I'm a lesbian, I'm gay, and I'm getting more interaction with girls that way. Sometimes I do put, I'm not gay, as I said, I like women, transgendered women. Also, sometimes I go on my Facebook account, Plenty Fish account, I go on Men Seeking Men to either look for transgendered women, because a lot of transgendered women post on Men Seeking Men, but I don't honestly know why. You were born male, but your brain and everything inside you saying you're a female, and all your beliefs are you want to be a female, but then you're still posting under Men Seeking Men. Surely that's contradictory to what you... Surely that's contradictory and hypocritical of what your beliefs are and what you feel inside. I know I might get a lot of flack and a lot of hate by this. It's just an opinion, and it's just an understanding. It's just something that confuses me, because I speak to a lot of transgendered women online, and it just confuses me why that when their beliefs say one thing, yet they're still posting, then they're still posting under Men Seeking Men, which is total opposite, front, back, total opposite of what the beliefs and what they're trying to tell people. If I've offended anyone, or if I've upset anyone, I'm totally sorry. It's just something that confuses me, and I didn't mean to offend, upset, or hurt anyone's feelings in any manner. Also, the other reason I'm on Men Seeking Men, sometimes there's women on posts, sometimes genetic women post on Men Seeking Men by mistake, and by mistake, and they don't know, so I message them and say, are you aware that your profile says you're a man or a male? Sometimes, I think once, I know for definite for once, I got a message back from a woman, quite abusive, saying it doesn't. I think she was effing and blinding a bit, but yeah, quite abusive, saying it doesn't, and swearing at me and that. And she blocked me. Well, when instead of checking her gender, on a profile, instead of checking her gender on a profile, why is she making assumptions out on me when someone's giving you advice? Someone's giving you advice and say, are you aware that your profile says this? Before you make a judgment at that person, shouldn't you just check? That's what I'd do anyway. So basically there's that, and I don't know if I mentioned previously in this video that I've emailed Sherwood's again about voluntary work and a couple of other places. I think I'd started talking about Star Radio on there. I don't think I finished that, so A lot of things have happened in this video. I don't think I mentioned the Star Radio, but sorry if I have. Basically, Darlington used to have a radio station called Alpha 103.2. When it was Alpha, I put something on the radio about a lass I liked, and they called me a divvy live on the radio. Then it became Star, and then I think it became really, really good radio. I'm not quite sure. So yeah, I started talking about this, but I hadn't finished. So as I was saying, through me, it's more of like the behind the scenes stuff that fascinates me about the media and things. So like the behind the scenes stuff, like technical side. So I'd sent typed up a CV to take to what I thought was Star Radio, or really good radio now. On one of them showing down where they were based, and just about voluntary work, volunteering. And I get there, and there's people in there gutting the place, like wires, things on the floor. I don't even know how, with everything that was on the floor, I don't even know how they were able to move safely, so I was a bit disappointed about that. So yeah, sorry I didn't mention that. I got a bit distracted in that when I was talking about the sound engineering and all the other stuff. So basically that had happened, but I am looking online for more companies and that I can volunteer with, and hopefully show a potential employee what I'm capable of and what I can do, basically. Yeah, I tried messaging regarding yesterday's scenario about the volunteering. No, regarding yesterday's scenario about my maths and English test. I tried messaging Diane back, think I've emailed her, texted her, phoned her, but no reply as of yet. However, I did think that I would have came out in the test lower than last time, because last time they let me use a calculator and they shouldn't have. So Nikki or whoever did it last time let me do the test. Let me do the test with an assessment with the calculator. And they shouldn't have. I got a much better score, to be honest. Didn't really get that much better, but I got a much better score than I thought I'd get. And yeah, so there's stuff like that. As I say, I'm just wanting to get back into the swing of things. Basically, I I'm honest in these videos, I'm congruent. I learnt that in counselling, Lindsay Moses. If anyone wants to do a counselling course or a counselling degree, I highly recommend that you go to Bishop Auckland College and Lindsay Moses. She was my counselling tutor. The reason I did the counselling course was I didn't want to be a counsellor. I just wanted to do the level 1 because I knew the course was about communication. And basically, I did the level 1, and because I wanted to do it to help myself with the communication issues that I have. So I wanted to do that. I only really wanted. Here's the story, right? I only really wanted to do the level 1, but I progressed on to the level 2, and I've never progressed on to a level 2 before from a level 1. I've had tutors saying to me at Darlington College in that 1 year, you'll never be able to get a level 2, and you'll never be able to get a level 2. You've not got a level 1. So regarding the levels and that round courses, as far as I see it is, the course is as difficult or as easy as much work you want to put in. Where I think the levels for college courses and that are irrelevant, because the course is only as difficult or as easy as how much work you put into it, and how much passion and how much you enjoy the course. And basically, I enjoyed the course more than I thought. And if you enjoy the course more, you're going to put more effort into it, and things are going to sink in more because you're enjoying it, and because you've got. And with me, I had a really good tutor, and because you've got a really good tutor that makes the learning enjoyable, of course, you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to get a higher level than what was first anticipated. So, like for me, levels are irrelevant. You're only going to succeed in life, and things are only as easy as hard as how much effort or as little effort you put into something. If you put in, say you're doing the easiest course in the world, like entry course, but you put very, 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 very little effort into it, you're not going to succeed, or you're going to find it very difficult to succeed. But if you put very, 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 very high effort into it, and you're enjoying it, of course you're going to be able to find it easier and be able to progress on forward. Basically, regarding that, the college course, tutors, Darlington College said never be able to do a level 2. There was 1 week, basically, on the college, everyone playing catch up on the afternoon, and I got to go home early because I was ahead of everyone, and I think I had basically finished it before everyone else. So basically, I went out to get the level 1, and I came back with a level 2. Yeah, so there's that, and yeah, I'm just feeling at the moment like I want to get out there and do things, and that, as I've said previously, as soon as someone's spoken to my mum about my social care assessment, the sooner I can have things laid to rest in my mind, and the sooner we can start finishing the social care assessment, basically, because that's to help with my social independence, my social skills and my independence at the same time. So basically, I'm just like a coiled spring. I just want to expand. I am feeling a bit better about things, as I say, about last week and that. So basically, regarding that incident, regarding the incident to my car, I don't know if I've still got it on my phone, but I'll read it if I have got it. I got this message, basically, I don't have it. Sorry, I don't have it. But basically, what happened was I had a woman messaging me last week on Facebook and said her 17-year-old son, I can't remember if it was autism or Asperger's, she said, basically a 17-year-old son is learning to drive, and honestly I can't remember if he's got autism or Asperger's, but she said he's learning to drive, and that he's failed his theory test, and basically she's shown him a couple of the things I put online about me driving my car incident, and she said I've inspired him and I've given him hope. For me, that's what the posts are about online. That's what the YouTube's about. Inspiring others, making people aware. And for just that one comment, I know that I'm doing the job I've set out there to do, and there'll be many more comments like that to come in the future, I believe. So I know there was a few dickheads, to put it politely, that were messaging me and giving me a bit of abuse last week, saying I wasn't listening to people about my car incident, and that, but through me posting online about my incident and about my experiences and about what had happened to me, I've inspired one person. That just makes, I know I'm still going to get upset and that by the negativity, but that just makes the negativity and the criticism worth it, because, as I said, I've inspired someone and I've given someone hope, and that's why I've set up the YouTube. And that's why I post things on Facebook. And that, as I said, social awareness and social understanding is what we need more of. And for me, it's about challenging the criticism, challenging other people to say that this is what you think, this is the implication of your actions, just so people can have a better understanding, a better idea of what it's like having a disability, having a hidden disability. And also I want to inspire people to be true to themselves and being the person that they feel they are inside. If people can't respect this, or if people don't accept this, then it's not your fault, and it's society that needs to change, and it's society that's got the problem, not you. Like for me, people are saying, why do I post online and that when it is me, and I'm being true to myself and I'm being congruent in doing so, because this is what I believe in. This is what I believe in. This is my passion. And this is something I feel strongly about. Why should I give up on my dream, what I want to make a reality, for people that give negative comments, when I can challenge the negative comments and harness the negativity and harness the negative comments to make my passion stronger and to make me stronger and to make me a better person through doing so. I know my mum and dad aren't happy about some of the comments, and they were getting upset about him. My dad was like, I got one comment saying everyone needs to have a car crash in their lives so they can experience the monetary consequences involved. Why should someone... When I got upset about that, and he was shouting at me saying, what you post online, you get ridiculed all the time. But he's saying that, but also I had witnesses come forward, and as I said, I've inspired someone through my dad's eyes and through my parents' eyes, and through other people's eyes regarding what my dad said about the negativity and what I've noticed in the past and what I noticed in general. A lot of people tend to focus more on the negativity and on the impact of the negative impact of posting things online and doing things general in life. People tend to focus more on the negativity rather than the positivity and the inspiration through doing what you do online, and like the positivity that's come from it. my dad and mum were shouting at me, saying, why do you post things online? They said if I post online, don't come complaining to us when people will ridicule you, because you've let yourself out there to be ridiculed, because it's your fault basically. But like, in the heat of the moment, they're focused on that negative comment, and they've not said anything to me about the positivity that's come from it, and about the witnesses come forward, and about the inspiration that I led that lad to believe, what I inspired that lad. But as I say, it happens with everyone. It's part of our DNA, it's part of our genes, it's something that we all do need to change at some point in that, because this is where I do it sometimes with myself. This is where a lot of depression issues and that come from, is because we focus more on the negativity rather than the positivity. With me, I know sometimes I do get depressed, and what I'm saying in this video, it's not meant to upset, hurt, or upset anyone. If I have, I'm extremely sorry, but this is talking through personal experience and through things I have noticed in this video. Some of this isn't fact, it's personal opinion, and you can make and choose with it what you please. So basically, with me, like a lot of people, a lot of things I've seen following online with depression, and a lot of stuff that I have read into about depression. A lot of cases of depression are totally different. But like with me personally, it's your brain, my brain, and things telling us that you can't do this, you can't do that, you're worthless. We tend to that's focusing more on the negativity rather than the positivity. So that's what we all need to change within ourselves. We need to start to focus more on the positivity, that we need to start to focus more on the positivity and less on the negativity. And basically, doing this will mean we're much stronger people, and it'll make us much more powerful at the end of the day. And and stronger in ourselves. Yeah, I know it's been a long video tonight. I didn't realise how long it was until I just checked. So it's been so long. I had a couple of things to say. I've got one more piece. I've just want to end this video now and just say that if anyone tells you you can't do this, you can't do that, if you in your mind are also telling yourself you can't do this, you can't do that, you're worthless, just go out and be the person that you want to be. Do the things you want to do, and if society can't accept this or understand it, then it's society that have the problem and not yourself. Go out and enjoy life, enjoy who you are, and be the person you want to be inside. Because who knows what's around the corner. On that note, thank you and good night.